Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. You are with your girl, Jewel Diamond Taylor, with my interview series. Oh my gosh, I get to interview someone today that is dear to my heart. I've known her for quite some time. Shout out to my goddaughter, Toy Arnold, for connecting us, and I fell in love with her immediately. And I wanted to talk about her new book because when I first met her, she wasn't an author. She was an aspiring director, one of the few Black female, listen to what I'm saying, few Black female directors in Hollywood. And I have watched her arc just climb and climb. She has directed episodes of some of your favorite shows. We're going to talk about that today, but mainly we're going to talk about this amazing book from Hood to Hollywood. I want you to welcome my Cleveland based, almost like a daughter friend, Princess Monique.
Hi.
There she is in
Hey.
all her glory and orange and black unicorn. All right, my dear. So glad to have you with my show today. I've been waiting for this to happen. You've been so busy and you finally got an opening in your calendar and you said yes. I'm like, yay. I want everybody to know who you are and what you have done. You've always kept the main thing since I've met you. You are a living example of walking by faith. And you know what I love about you, Princess, is that you have learned the power of diversification. Not only are you a director in Hollywood, you are a mentor to the youth, and now you wear the hat of an author.
Yes. Which out of everything I've ever done is the hardest thing that I've ever done. Is be an author.
It was the hardest thing. So why did you decide to write this book?
Well, I had some health challenges. And when you have health challenges, you really stop and put things in perspective. And then you kind of like, okay, at the end of the day, when my life is over, what do I have left here? And I felt like my journey and my life story with the health challenges, with the career, was something that, I should share to help someone else. And I've always been a big book reader, and I used to live in like Barnes and Noble and Borders and those, self-help aisles and anything to do with entertainment. I would be in those aisles, and I tell you, I kept looking for a book with somebody that looked like me on the cover to tell me about this industry. And I couldn't find any women. I mean, I found Black men, but I couldn't find any Black women to tell me about the journey of directing, about Hollywood, about entertainment. And so I decided, okay, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to do something about it. So I decided to write my book.
So I would imagine the book is going to empower people that want to follow this track in the industry, and also for people to learn how to be overcomers. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. Because I always tell people it's not about directing. It's not about the career of directing. It's about my journey and how I found my purpose and my path as far as a career was concerned, and all of the obstacles and the things that I went through, the ups and downs. And so the tagline is how to stop waiting to be discovered and discover yourself. And it was because, when you go to Hollywood, it's like, okay, I got to go to Hollywood. Somebody got to discover me. And I kept coming here and trying to meet people and kept thinking like somebody was going to do it for me. And then there was some kind of aha moment that said, you can't look for someone else to do this for you. You have to do it for yourself. Only you know what it is that you're supposed to do. So I see it as something that people, no matter what career field you're in, when you're trying to discover, what am I supposed to be doing? Why am I here? What's my purpose? And the things that help me to that place where now I don't believe anymore, that I know.
I love that. I love that. For those that are watching, I want them to know some of the episodes that you have been a director of. I know you're going to name some. They're going to say, oh my gosh, that was her. I know one of them is Greenleaf.
Yes. Greenleaf was actually my first television show that I ever did. I was kind of in the independent world. I did a movie for Lifetime called Seasons of Love, and I did a lot of shorts and music videos and PSAs and tutorials. And what happened was this big explosion in TV, that everybody went to TV to, do more things and limited series. So I was like, okay, I got to get over to that TV side. And I finally got the opportunity with Greenleaf. And then after I did Greenleaf, I did Blackish. I did Our Kind of People, which is on Fox. I did The Goldbergs on ABC. A show that's coming out. Well, Goldberg's actually airs February 2nd. So February 2nd, you can check out my episode of The Goldbergs. And then February 22nd, you can check out my episode of a new show called Grand Crew on NBC. And yeah, and I'm gearing up right now to go to Atlanta to do First Wives Clubs for BET. And then I'll leave there. I'll leave there and go to New York and do Run the World. Yeah. So it's happening.
How does it feel to hear yourself? And then I go here, and then I go there, and then I'm doing this. I mean, that is the dream of anybody that's a creative, to be able to live in their passion. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. This is so amazing. Chris, to read your book From Hood to Hollywood. Can you just tell me at least one thing you hope they'll walk away with after reading your book?
Ooh, one thing. There's a lot of things, but I mean, it goes back to that tagline of, it's not about anybody else helping you do anything. You have everything inside of you right now to know exactly what it is that you need to do. The first couple of chapters, I kind of gave some little lessons for people to do, well, what is that for me? What am I supposed to do? And all you got to do is talk to your mother and your family and your friends and ask them, what do you do naturally? What have you always been doing? And since a little kid, I was a bossy little kid, telling people what to do. So I was directed when I was a real small child. And I think it's important that we look at children and what they do naturally, because that gives you signs about what they're supposed to do in this life. And I think that that's step one, is know that it's for you to understand and decide and know about yourself. It's not for no one else to tell you. You can have mentors, which I'm a big advocate of mentors and being a mentee. But it's really, you have to find it for yourself and know what it is that you're supposed to be doing.
I think that I really resonate with that. I used to be called bossy, and I realized I just had leadership skills.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know what I want. And it's amazing how people that are not quite that place in consciousness and evolving, that they can make you feel like just go get a regular job, or why are you doing that? Or why do you keep talking about that? It's like, a passion is a passion. And I'm so glad that I can share with my audience that you are an example of someone who kept the main thing the main thing. You did all those incremental steps to get to where you are. And I know you're going to do so much more. But tell me, Princess, what have you seen? What kind of changes have you seen in Hollywood?
Well, Hollywood is very interesting because, they used to use the word diversity a lot, but now they use the word inclusion, which is a broader thing of diversity. And I see that there is a window that's open. I'm a believer. I do believe that, there is change and people are realizing there needs to be change, especially in the field of where I come from, as far as African-American female director. But they can do better and they can do more. And I also believe, though, it's the responsibility of the people like me who get the opportunities and the shots that they actually help bring somebody up and bring them in. I have a organization called Real Black Unicorns, and it's a very, our tagline is that African-American females do exist. African-American female directors do exist, because even though we're a small portion of what makes up, directing in the Directors Guild of America, there's still a lot more that people think there are. And there's a lot more opportunities that need to be given or opened up for us to come through. But we have to share what we've learned so that, because there's not really any books really that really tell you exactly what you're going to learn on the job as a director. There's certain things and skill sets that you have to have even before you get there. And if you don't share those secrets in that inside scoop, because it's one thing to be good at the job of actually visualizing, putting it together, doing shot lists and things like that. But you have to be able to bring it all together. And if you don't tell people how to connect those dots, even though that they're talented, it's going to be hard for them to actually work in television. So I just think it's very important that even though, we can look at Hollywood and be like, Hollywood needs to do this, but we also need to help other people come into the industry. I've had a lot of help, and I help a lot of people.
That was the question I was going to ask you. Have you found a sisterhood, a network within this industry where you all are, encouraging one another and sharing connections and contacts and lifting each other up when you didn't get the job you wanted?
Well, you know what? Before the pandemic, I would say that, I can probably speak for a lot of other Black directors. We all felt like one woman or one man shows, and that we were all trying to figure it out, but they messed up. They let us sit down all at one time at the same time and realize, okay, wait a minute, we need to come together. So yeah, I'm a part of several organizations and several groups of Black directors that have come together and like, listen, I can't do this job. Who's available? And they'll put it in our chat group. And it's and there's those times where you're on set and you might have never worked on something. Somebody in this group has. So you can say, who knows about dance sequences? I had never done one before. Who knows about, action sequences or special effects? Can you give me some pointers? So we have definitely come together and are so much more supportive than I've ever seen before. So, the pandemic, that's a good thing that came out of the pandemic.
Okay, I love that. I'm curious, have you ever gone on set and people didn't realize that, oh, she's the director? You ever heard something that you really didn't need to hear? and then lo and behold, she's the director.
You know what? This is a running joke with me and all my director friends, peers. It is like we all have a story that, okay, somebody thought we were an extra or a stand-in or a grip, or you park in the director's space and they're like, you can't park right there. You're like, why can I park right here? So they're definitely not really used to always seeing us in certain spaces as the director. And I got orange hair, so they definitely don't expect me to be the director when I come in. And I've done some acting and modeling. So I think people may think, oh, she's supposed to be in front of the camera versus behind the camera. So it has happened many, many times. And we all tell the story. I say I could write a book about everybody's story of when someone thought they were something different than the director.
Are any of those stories in your book, From Hood to Hollywood?
No, those are not in my book. I would say my story didn't come until after I wrote my book, but I had heard the stories of the other directors. And then my opportunity came that I was like, okay, they thought I was a stand-in. And we always like to kind of play it out to see how far we can go with it. We're like, okay, let's see if they'll take us where I think we should go. And when I shared it with the other directors, it's like, you're now officially initiated because,
So you said you're from Hood to Hollywood. So is Hood Cleveland where you were born?
Yes, I'm from Cleveland. I'm from 79th and Euclid. So people who from Cleveland know that was the hood. It's much nicer now. They've definitely done a lot of great things in the area where I used to live. But when I was growing up, it was definitely, but I didn't know it was the hood. I just thought, my family, having rats and roaches, and my mother said, don't be telling people that. But that stuff was around me. The prostitutes and the drugs and everything was there. I just kind of thought it was normal, but I knew what I wanted to be a part of and what I didn't want to be a part of. So, and my mother was really good at keeping the kids together and having us do, that's how I knew I was bossy. My mother used to do these talent shows once a month. So all month long, all the kids would be rehearsing and putting their outfits together for the talent show so you can stay out of trouble. And I was the little bossy little girl, like, if your hair is not ready, your outfit is not ready, you cannot be in the show.
Come on now. I love
So
it.
as a little bitty girl, I was directing the shows, and I had no idea this would be a job.
love that. And there are so many people that are watching right now that are not aware that that thing that comes so natural to them, that won't let them go. They can't stop thinking about it. They excel in it. But that is their purpose. And it's so wonderful when you can meet somebody who has the opportunity and the breakthroughs to be able to actually live in their passion. I've been living in mine for 35 years. I do not take it for granted. Um, and so when I get to talk to someone that's living in their passion, I'm like, yes, you go, because we are a special kind of tribe where we unapologetically shine. We unapologetically step up to the task and we don't let anything stop us. We just keep grinding, we keep hustling, we keep creating, we keep showing up. And so I just admire you so much to know that now you are an author. And I need my audience to know, where can they get your book, Princess?
Well, you can always go onto my website, which is Princess Films, FILMZ. So films with a Z.com. Or you can go on Amazon, Amazon.com, and just put in Hood to Hollywood and put in Princess Monique Films, and it'll come right up. And we haven't really launched the book yet. So it's right now, it's out there for people to purchase. And I'm going to do a big book launch in the spring, but I'm definitely looking for people to purchase it now and write reviews on Amazon, because that definitely helps with what we got planned for the spring.
That's good, because I was going to ask you, what are your goals? So you are going to have a book launch.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to do a book launch, and I'm right now just solidified a DJ, believe it or not, old school DJ. If you know Kwame from back in the day, Kwame has just agreed to help me do my audiobook. And we're going to put some music in there, give a little Cleveland flavor at the beginning, and, just, just a little something different. I don't just want to just record my voice. I want to give you a little something extra.
I love it. I want to thank you too, because of my connection with you through my goddaughter Toy. I've been doing these interviews since 2009. And because of you, I was able to interview the iconic actor. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview. You remember the interview I did?
You talking about with Bill Duke?
Bill Duke, yes.
Yes. Yes.
And so I just want to thank you for that, because I was so nervous. But those type of experiences have sharpened my skills, and I continue to do it because I just love hearing people's stories, and I love hearing his story. And we had him at our event, and he talked about his book. And so there are more and more of us that are writing our books and telling our stories. And I love the spectrum of biographies and testimonies and purpose-driven people. And you are definitely one. My hat is off to you, my sister. I can't wait to see some more of your future episodes coming up. Do you ever speak out loud your affirmations, your prayers? Because if you do, I wonder if there's a particular show or a particular actor or actress that you like. I want.
Mom Jewel, I have this is my, let's see, my little thing this is my vision notebook. I don't know if I can really show it because of this thing. Here it is. Yeah. It's a vision notebook. And
you got a green screen. You got a green screen, so we can't really.
Yeah, I can't see it, but I have a vision notebook too. Yeah, and I have a whole list of what I call breakthrough goals, and I have my 2022 affirmations. So they're pretty big too. They're pretty big.
And that's what we're supposed to do. I'm having my goal setting session coming up this Saturday, and I'm bringing my vision notebook because I find it easier it's portable. And I take it to bed with me. I put it in my car, and I review it all the time. And it's just amazing how the law of attraction comes, how it's activated when we constantly review the visuals that we want to walk into and to manifest. So thank you I know you're on a green screen, so it's kind of difficult to share and see it, but I'm glad that you have it. You are using the success principles of speaking, thinking about it, dreaming about it, visualizing it, and knowing that you are absolutely worthy. Princess, as we come to a close, is there anything you would say to someone that is aspiring to get into Hollywood? And then the last one after that, I said that's the last one. I got one more. What would you say to the youth? Because I think that's so honorable that you are working with the youth as a youth mentor. That is not my demographic. I can't do it. I work with women, but for you to work with young girls, that's admirable. So those are my last two questions. What
Well,
would you tell someone that wants to get in the industry, and what message would you give to a young girl about womanhood or anything that's dear to your heart?
well, someone who wants to get into the industry, it is one of those things where one, you have to really, really fully 100% commit yourself to this is what you want to do. Like for me, I was not a plan B person. This is plan A, this got to work.
It's the
And
only time.
yeah, I would definitely get a mentor, someone who is working in the field that you want to work in, and really just do as much research on that particular job and how it's done as much as possible. Some people in the industry say you should go to film school. Some say you shouldn't. Depends on what kind of person you are. I went to film school, and it's because I'm a nerd at heart. I like to know all the details. I like to know all the ins and outs, but that's not for everybody. Some people, our beautiful friend Toy said, the left brain and the right brain. Like she always told me, you're both sides, right? Because I'm creative and I'm very organized, but it depends on who you are and how how you learn. You should know how you learn. And once you get that good mentor, but also make sure you have a lot of other skills other than just the craft. And what I mean is like communication skills. Make sure that you're presenting yourself how you want to be presented. Speaking classes or, speaking engagements or anywhere that you can actually, you know, enunciate and have time to talk about yourself, get comfortable with these things. So just thinking about it made me nervous that you have to be comfortable with presenting yourself, because if you're not confident, in yourself, nobody's going to be confident in your ability. And get my book. I put a lot of things in my book that that can help guide you, that I wish that was out there for me when I was looking. I wanted it in a book. What I put in the book was the stuff I grabbed from all these different mentors, and now I put it in one place for you. So definitely grab the book. And the other question what was it?
How are you mentoring the young people, and what is a message that is pretty standard that you want young people, especially young girls, to be aware of?
Well, who I mentor today, I used to mentor a lot of teens. I used to be like over the girls ministry at my church, and then I had a nonprofit for teen girls in Atlanta, and I miss them so much. And I do have a few young women who I'm mentoring, but Real Black Unicorns is usually it's more actually for women who want to be directors, and to just kind of help guide them and put them on the path to directing, and you know just helping them with the steps and connecting the dots. So that's what I'm doing.
So, in other words, you want to be the woman you wish you had. That's what I did. I wanted to become the woman that I wish I had as I was maturing, as a wife, as a mother, as a leader. And I needed women in my life, and so here I am now in my 70s, and that's what I'm doing. I want to be that which I missed having, and I'm so proud of you for wanting to be that woman for our young girls. They definitely need a Princess Monique in their lives. And say your website one more time so those that want to know about your unicorn mentoring groups, how can they reach
Well,
it? And maybe a mother like, oh, my daughter, she needs to meet Princess. So
Brett,
how can that mother or friend reach out to you again?
well, on all the social media sites, I'm Princess Films with a Z, and my website
Okay.
is Princess Films with a Z. But Real Black Unicorns is its own entity. So realblackunicorns.com is where I have the actual mentoring for African American female directors.
Real Black Unicorn. I love that. Thank you so much, my dear, for taking this time with me. I'm so full of gratitude for you that that God will connect us, and you're like family. And I remember our last time being together, walking on the beach and talking and hanging out. And I hope we'll get to do that again soon. But in the meantime, be blessed, be healthy, be wise, be focused, and also stay in the light.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me. I love you.
Love you too.